Did you know that the Byzantine Empire faced one of its most controversial crises over sacred images? This shocking truth will change how you view art and faith. In this video, you'll learn about Byzantine Iconoclasm, a pivotal movement that led to the destruction of countless sacred icons and reshaped the religious landscape of the time. Explore the central conflict between iconodules, who supported the veneration of icons, and iconoclasts, who believed that these images were heretical and should be destroyed. So Byzantine Iconoclasm is a fascinating chapter in the history of the Byzantine Empire, marked by intense debate and conflict over the use of religious icons. Spanning from the early 8th century to the mid-9th century, this period saw a significant divide between those who supported the veneration of icons and those who opposed it, known as iconoclasts. The controversy began around 726 AD when Emperor Leo III issued an edict against the use of icons, sparking a movement that would last for over a century. This struggle wasn't just about art. It was deeply intertwined with theology, politics, and cultural identity. The iconoclasts believed that the veneration of images was tantamount to idolatry, while their opponents, the iconodules, argued that icons served as vital tools for worship and connection to the divine. As we delve into this complex conflict, we'll explore how it shaped the religious landscape of the Byzantine Empire and influenced broader Christian thought. Join us as we unravel the layers of Byzantine iconoclasm and discover its lasting impact on art, faith, and society. The destruction of icons in Hagia Sophia. Imagine the grandeur of Hagia Sophia, its golden mosaics shimmering in the light, a sanctuary of faith and artistry. Yet in the early 8th century, this sacred space became a battleground for a fierce ideological conflict. Under Emperor Leo III, a wave of iconoclasm swept through the empire, leading to the heartbreaking destruction of cherished religious icons. Picture the scene. Devout worshippers, their hearts heavy with sorrow, witnessing the removal and defacement of images that had long been central to their spiritual lives. The air was thick with tension as hammers struck stone, shattering not just images, but the very essence of their faith. The emotional toll was profound. For many, these icons were not mere art, but windows to the divine, embodying the presence of saints and Christ himself. Leo III's motivations were rooted in a desire to unify the empire and eliminate what he viewed as idolatry. He believed that by eradicating these images, he could strengthen the Christian faith and align it more closely with the teachings of Scripture. However, this act of destruction left deep scars on the spiritual landscape of Byzantium, igniting a conflict that would resonate for generations. A theological debate: icon veneration versus idolatry. The theological debate surrounding icon veneration during the Byzantine iconoclasm was both profound and polarizing, reflecting deep divisions within the church. On one side were the iconodules, who passionately defended the use of icons as essential tools for worship. They argued that these images served as visual representations of the divine, helping the faithful connect with God and the saints. Key figures like John of Damascus emerged as vocal proponents, emphasizing that veneration of icons was not idolatry, but a way to honor the holy figures they depicted. Conversely, the iconoclasts, led by Emperor Leo III and theologians like Constantine of Nicaea, contended that the veneration of icons was a dangerous slide into idolatry. They believed that worship should be directed solely to God, and any physical representation could lead to misinterpretation and false worship. This distinction between veneration and idolatry became a central theme in the debate, with iconoclasts arguing that true faith should be free from any material distractions. As these theological arguments unfolded, they not only shaped the religious landscape of the Byzantine Empire, but also influenced the broader Christian tradition, leaving a lasting legacy on how faith and art intersect. Imperial decrees and clergy reactions. The conflict over icon veneration reached a boiling point with a series of imperial decrees issued by Byzantine emperors, particularly Leo III and his successor, Constantine V. In 726 AD, Leo III's initial edict banned the veneration of icons, declaring them to be a form of idolatry. This was followed by further decrees that mandated the removal of icons from churches and public spaces, leading to widespread destruction of sacred images. Constantine V intensified these efforts during the Second Council of Nicaea in 787, where he reaffirmed the ban and sought to solidify the iconoclast position. The reactions from Orthodox clergy were swift and passionate. Many bishops and priests vehemently opposed the imperial decrees, viewing them as an affront to their faith and traditions. Prominent figures like Saint John of Damascus emerged as vocal critics, arguing that the removal of icons undermined the very essence of Christian worship. This resistance highlighted the growing tension between the state and the church, as clergy sought to protect their spiritual authority against imperial overreach. The struggle for icon veneration became not just a theological debate, but a significant power struggle, shaping the future of the Byzantine Empire and its religious identity. Saint John of Damascus, defender of icons. Saint John of Damascus stands as a pivotal figure in the defense of icon veneration during the Byzantine Iconoclasm. Living in the 7th and 8th centuries, he was a theologian and a monk whose writings provided a robust counter-argument to the iconoclast movement. John passionately argued that icons were not objects of worship, but rather windows to the divine, allowing the faithful to connect with the holy figures they depicted. He emphasized that the incarnation of Christ made it possible to represent the divine in physical form, thus legitimizing the use of icons in worship. His significance in the Iconoclast controversy cannot be overstated. John's theological insights and eloquent defenses of icon veneration helped galvanize support for the iconodules, reinforcing their position within the church. His most notable work, 3 Apologies Against Those Who Attack the Holy Images, systematically dismantled the arguments of the iconoclasts, asserting that veneration of icons was a legitimate expression of faith. John's writings not only shaped the theological landscape of his time, but also had a lasting impact on the Church's stance on icons, ultimately influencing the decisions made at the Second Council of Nicaea in 787, which restored the veneration of icons. Empress Irene and the restoration of icons. Empress Irene played a crucial role in the restoration of icon veneration in 787 AD, marking a significant turning point in the Byzantine Iconoclasm. As a powerful and politically astute ruler, she convened the Second Council of Nicaea, which aimed to address the ongoing conflict over icons. Under her leadership, the council reaffirmed the legitimacy of icon veneration, declaring that icons were essential for worship and should be honored, not destroyed. This decision was a bold move that not only restored religious practices, but also sought to unify a divided empire. The political implications of Irene's actions were profound. By aligning herself with the iconodules, she positioned herself against the iconoclasts, thereby solidifying her authority and gaining the support of the clergy and the faithful. This shift also reflected her desire to stabilize the empire, which had been fraught with internal strife and conflict over religious issues. Irene's reign is significant for icon veneration, as it marked the end of the first phase of iconoclasm and the beginning of a renewed appreciation for religious art in the Byzantine Empire. Her efforts not only restored icons to their rightful place in worship, but also laid the groundwork for a more profound understanding of the relationship between faith and art in Christianity. Empress Theodora and the Final Restoration. Empress Theodora played a pivotal role in the final restoration of icon veneration in 843 AD, a momentous event known as the Triumph of Orthodoxy. Following the death of her husband, Emperor Theophilus, who had been a staunch iconoclast, Theodora took decisive action to reverse the policies that had suppressed the veneration of icons. She convened a council that reaffirmed the decisions made at the Second Council of Nicaea and restored the icons to their rightful place in the Church. This act was not only a religious victory, but also a powerful statement of her commitment to the Orthodox faith. The societal impact of her restoration efforts was profound. The return of icons revitalized religious practices and fostered a sense of unity among the faithful, who had long been divided over the issue. Theodora's actions helped heal the wounds inflicted by years of iconoclasm, allowing for a resurgence of artistic expression and spiritual devotion throughout the empire. The legacy of Empress Theodora, in the context of icon veneration, is significant. She is celebrated as a champion of orthodoxy, and her efforts solidified the importance of icons in Byzantine spirituality, influencing the Church's stance on religious art for centuries to come. The Triumph of Orthodoxy, a dramatic reenactment. Picture a bright Sunday morning in March 843 AD as the streets of Constantinople come alive with anticipation. Crowds gather outside the grand Hagia Sophia, their hearts filled with hope and joy. The air is electric, charged with the promise of a momentous occasion, the Triumph of Orthodoxy. Empress Theodora, draped in regal robes, leads a procession of clergy and faithful, carrying icons adorned with gold and jewels, symbols of their restored faith. As they enter the cathedral, the atmosphere shifts. The faithful kneel, tears of joy streaming down their faces as the icons are placed back in their rightful places. The sound of hymns fills the air, echoing off the marble walls, creating a heavenly chorus that resonates with the spirit of the moment. Theodora raises her hands in prayer, embodying the collective relief and gratitude of a people who have long suffered under iconoclasm. This celebration is not merely a restoration of art, it is a profound reaffirmation of faith and identity. The emotional weight of the moment is palpable as the faithful embrace their icons once more, marking a new chapter in Byzantine history, where the veneration of images is celebrated, cherished, and protected. In this video, we explored the complex and fascinating history of Byzantine iconoclasm, a period marked by intense conflict over the use of religious icons. We discussed the key events, from the initial decrees of Emperor Leo III to the passionate defenses by figures like Saint John of Damascus. We highlighted the significant roles played by Empress Irene and Empress Theodora in restoring icon veneration, culminating in the momentous triumph of orthodoxy in 843 A.D. The key takeaways from our discussion emphasize the profound impact of religious symbols on faith and identity. Icons were not merely artistic representations. They served as vital connections to the divine, shaping the spiritual lives of countless believers. This historical conflict invites us to reflect on the importance of religious symbols in our own lives and how they can foster a sense of community and belonging. If you enjoyed this exploration of Byzantine history, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who might find it interesting. Join us for more engaging content as we continue to uncover the rich tapestry of history and its relevance today.